Good morning, Tyler. You seem to be lost.
I'm in a library.
Yes.
No, it's just a bookshelf. It's a bookshelf full of books I've actually never seen before. So,
well, pull one of those out real quick. First one.
One of my favorites is the often celebrated The E-Myth.
Yes.
These are my dad's books. Why most small businesses don't work and what to do about it. I probably should have read this when I took over.
You should probably. Yeah, you probably should.
I wouldn't have to be in a basement right now if I just read that book.
We're really, if you couldn't tell, because it takes so long to get to everybody, we're really excited for this interview. You guys have had everybody involved in this has had some national attention here for good reason. And if you don't mind, I want you guys, if you could introduce yourselves, because I don't want to get anything wrong. So Mike, if we could start with you, we'll go Mike, Ryan, Megan, just because that's the way I see it on my screen.
Yeah,
Mike.
Sure. My name is Mike Gorski. I'm the owner and founder of Filament Evasion. We are a large-scale 3D printer manufacturer here in Lehigh Valley.
Also, Ryan, I just want to say a big round of applause for you, man. It's like super cool. All the stuff we've been reading. So thank you.
Thank you. It's
a million thank yous.
For us though, it's definitely not all on us. I mean, there's been a huge movement in the 3D printing initiative. Megan Augustine, who you'll meet here in a few seconds, she's been a huge, she's really spearheaded the whole operation. So she should get a lot of credit as well for it. But thank you.
Sure. And Ryan, you're from Bethlehem originally, and you go to RIT. Is that correct?
Yeah. So born and raised in Bethlehem. I'm in Bethlehem right now, but I'm a second-year mechanical engineering student at RIT. But I work with Mike as well as a technician at FI. So
Ryan, this is weird. I think I've interviewed you before. Did we do a video before you Did you go to Liberty?
I went to Freedom.
You went to Freedom? I swear. I'm gonna circle back on this. I interviewed you in the library.
Yeah. I remember
Very
that.
Weird. When you graduated, I did an interview.
Hey,
and we
George,
talked about,
real quick, did anybody ever interview you in high school in the library? No,
maybe.
Right?
Probably not.
I think we're over our heads. We've got way smarter people that we should be talking to.
I do feel a little intimidated. And to cap it off, we also have Megan. Megan, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you guys for having me. My name is Megan Augustine. I'm the network director for St. Luke's University Health Network for the Simulation Center.
Awesome. And thank you for coming on and taking time. I know it's very good. No, I don't know you like these guys, so I don't want to say anything and get in trouble. No, but thank you seriously for taking the time.
I think you were in the newspaper article too. Your picture was in the newspaper article, right? Yeah.
Yes.
We're a little starstruck right now, to be honest. Me and George.
We have famous people here. You guys have been on big news, and you're taking time to talk to us. So for people who aren't familiar, and we're going to kind of let you guys talk this out. If you want to jump in at any time and discuss with each other, can you kind of go over what? And I'll start with Mike. What is the project that you just went through? Can you kind of describe it? When did it start? That sort of thing, and I'll let you take it away.
So definitely, I would say, and Megan, please correct me if I'm wrong, maybe two and a half weeks ago, roughly, I reached out to Megan and I saw what was happening with the COVID-19 crisis. There were talks early on about a shortage of PPE. We saw that worldwide. And I just reached out to Megan and I said, hey, can we help? And there was really just left it like that. What can we do to help St. Luke's during this time? And Megan came back to me maybe a day or two, a couple days later, I don't know. And she was telling me that there's going to be a mask shortage. We're going to see masks. There's going to be a shortage of those. Can we 3D print them? I have no idea if we could 3D print the masks. So let's figure this out. So we had a meeting with, hey, background. Hey, how you doing? Sorry, I just see someone going around the background. How you doing? And so Megan and I just started talking. We reached out to Ryan, and Ryan's our CAD guy. We went through multiple iterations of masks with St. Luke's. This is something that hats off to Megan and St. Luke's, taking it very, very seriously. And this is fantastic. There's a lot of open source files being transferred around for 3D printing of masks, but they're just designs. They haven't been field tested. There's no hospitals trying these out. They're just people designing them. And working with Megan and St. Luke's, we went through multiple iterations of a mask and we said, hey, is this going to work for a hospital? And I think what the multiple iterations we went through, the end result was, yes, I think we got one as far as I know. And Megan, maybe you could tell me if I'm wrong or if I'm missing anything, please.
No, and Mike's got it right. Mike and I have worked together before. We have a small printer, a 3D printer that we've had for about the past 2 years that we do some things in our center with. And so Mike's right. He reached out to me following, this pandemic and, said, if you need anything in bulk, let me know. And it was like a day later, I've been researching things, for about a week or two prior to, and I said, hey, Mike, remember that time when you had said if you need anything, well, we're kind of here. It's that time. So I sent him a file, and like you said, the open source 3D community is phenomenal. But like you said, they're just open source files that haven't been tested. So we took a file off of the internet, and we've made so many revisions and iterations to it, tested it, made multiple prototypes over and over again with Mike's help and Ryan's help. They've been phenomenal. Going back, getting feedback, here internally at St. Luke's with our nurses, clinical staff, trial and error back and forth, and it just kind of took off. It's something that's really, really important to us, and we want to make sure, that it fits, that there's a seal, that it works, and we want to, make sure that the people on our front lines are really, really safe wearing this, and that they trust in us to wear it.
And Ryan, what is like sorry about that. Ryan, what is the process then for you when you get a file? Kind of for me, I have no idea how this stuff works. If you could kind of explain what you go through.
Sure. Yeah. So I had Mike give me a call. I was still at school at the time. And Mike called me at like 10:30 at night. And if Mike calls me past like 10 o'clock, something big is happening. So he called me and he said, hey, we need to get some of these masks made. We have a file, but we need to make some changes. We need this to be ready. We need this to be rock solid for St. Luke's. So I hopped on my computer. I actually moved out the day after he called me. So I moved back home. And then the day after, Mike and I went back and forth. Design tweaks. I have a software on my computer where I can 3D model things and fun stuff like that. So I would make some changes, send it to Mike. Mike would print it, fit it, test it, see what he thought of it, go back to me. I made changes again. We did that for like 48 hours between Sunday and Monday. And by Tuesday morning, I think we had something for St. Luke's that was pretty decently ready to go. And we worked from there. So.
And I just want to be clear
that, this is like, you're a college kid, right? And you get a phone call, and like I went to community college, and I've got many phone calls. Never was it like, hey, do you want to be a hero? Like, are you ready to be a hero, right? And so I'm like,
but nobody was like, Tyler, would you like to save some lives? You're like,
I have like goosebumps that this all came together, like, and in a matter of what, 4 or 5 days, you guys got it rocking.
Yeah, I mean, I got the call from Mike on Friday night, and I think Tuesday morning was when we really had something locked down. So like 4 days, not even.
Megan,
I was moving.
I think you're gonna be a prime candidate for whatever job you want post graduation. I'm sure, but
appreciate that.
So where are you guys at right now with that? Like, are people using them?
So we have people in our network that are getting fit tested with them. We have people, we still have the actual N95 masks and other masks that we're going through. We are holding off on these at the moment because we're going through our current stock and using these, and we have them getting fit tested, to make sure that they do fit and that they do have a seal. So we're making still any revisions that are needed. Mike's printing them, and we've been picking them up. And then so any changes or modifications, our clinical staff have to be masked all the time. Anybody in the hospital and anybody on campus has to be masked at all times. And so there's different styles of masks, obviously. There's the surgical masks, these replacement masks that, we're making. Then there's the N95 masks. There's the masks with the face shields. So yes, we do have some people wearing them. And then we have people also getting fit tested with them as well. So that if, when the time is right and then we do go to wearing these full time, we'll be ready for them.
Is this something that you can wear? Like, could this be the future of masks? Like it seems like do they last longer? There's got to be some benefits you know, that this could be something that gets adapted nationwide or worldwide?
I'm going to be honest. I hope it's not the future. I hope that this was done because of the supply, the global supply shortage. If this were to happen, we do currently have a serious problem on our hands. I mean, if we talk about the seriousness for it, it was done because of the global supply shortage. I mean, that's the reality of it, and it's an unfortunate situation. I hope this is just for a short time. Unfortunately, what that short time is, the reality is it could be a couple months.
Right. And I don't and it's no offense to Mike at all, but I don't think that, a hospital wants, this isn't the way that they want to go about procuring masks on a regular basis. But it's awesome that in this instance, it was able to get done.
Right.
Well, you're absolutely correct. I mean, that's just it. I don't want this to be the future. And I say that, and that's no offense to, us, to Mike, and anything that helps any of these things that are happening with the 3D printing community. This is, just in place of, because of the shortages, whether it's the ventilator stuff, whether, the other masks, the PAPR masks, the PPE supply shortage in general. I hope this is just kind of it, just for a moment in time, not a forever thing.
And I think, Tyler, to the point that you have is maybe what we're seeing could be the future of 3D printing. In general, maybe it's not specifically for masks, but now people see how he got this file from the internet,
Right.
It's that's, I think, the cool thing
it's hard
too.
for me to get my mind around how, it's great, right? Like, thank God that something can happen so fast, and to make something from a printer,
right.
It blows my mind, and the fact that there's people that understand how to do it, like Mike, Ryan, Megan, I think it's a time that, obviously there's great need, but we're super fortunate for people like them to be able to, that Megan can call Mike and say, hey, I need a favor, and it's a huge favor, and the ball starts rolling. You know what I mean?
And I was just gonna go into where are you at? Where is your actual space? Because I don't even think we brought that up in the beginning, and that's my fault. So could you kind of run through for people who aren't familiar with 3D printing? I mean, I know it to a degree, but can you kind of run through what you guys do there then?
Yeah, so we're up in North Whitehall, actually. Our facility is actually on my house. We own a little piece of farmland up here, and we actually have one shop, and we're in the process of building a second shop for some administrative stuff right now. And what we're doing is we're building larger scale 3D printers, targeting small, medium-sized businesses who want to jump into 3D printing, but they want a high quality product. They want it designed in America. They want it built in America using as many American supplies as we can. That isn't going to cost them $150,000. So what we do, because we're a small shop, we can come in at a lower price point and still give you those high quality industrial components you would get off a larger, bigger company, and still give you a good product at a great price. And what we're doing here, just to, kind of piggyback off what Megan said about 3D printing, I'm very transparent about 3D printing, what Filament Innovations is. I try to be as transparent as possible. And this is definitely not the future for mass production of masks. And that's just because 3D printing, the best way to describe a 3D printer is just another tool in your toolbox. It's no different than your screwdrivers, your welders, your vacuums, whatever. It's just another tool to have there. And an emergency like this, what we're having, this is where 3D printing comes in. We cannot mass produce these masks on, the same way you can mass produce something and make it for 10 cents and make 1 million of them in a few hours. This is literally on-demand manufacturing. So you have to look at a 3D printer as a tool. Like right now I need a mask from that tool, and that tool can make a mask. Maybe I need a screwdriver or a wrench, and you could print one, it's not really going to work, but you guys can see where I'm going with here. It's a tool that can do an on-demand manufacturing. And right now the crisis is, PPE, and now 3D printers can be called online to make as much PPE as possible. Will it ever get to the level of a mass production, like an injection molding scale? I don't know. I think we're far away from that, to be honest. But to be able to have a machine that could do rapid prototyping and
it's down the street.
And it's right here in Lehigh Valley. Right. Yeah, and we're doing this all here in the Valley.
So Ryan, talk about you're doing this stuff. I'm assuming you're pulling some long nights, where your parents what are you up to? And you're just like, oh, nothing.
You know, the usual, just, you know, saving the world, things like that. No, it was interesting. I mean, it was pretty chaotic. I had just gotten back from my spring break, and school was going online, and things were shifting, and campus was closing. So there's a lot going on. So in a short period of time, I was like, hi, I'm coming home. And I don't even know if this came up to them at all until I got home. And I was like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm designing some masks for St. Luke's. But no, it's been a really interesting experience, and along the lines that I think what everyone's been saying, it's been really cool to see how 3D printing has had its place in all of this. An unfortunate circumstance, of course, but the rallying that 3D printers and people who have 3D printers have done in this space, I think is really interesting, because it's always been something that's there and people talk about it. It's like one of those things that everyone knows. It's like, oh yeah, I know what 3D printing is. But it's super cool to see when you need there's this instant need for things like this. And they're just people who are like, I mean, I have a 3D printer in my basement. I have a 3D printer like on my desk at home. It's like, what do you need? Can I do something? And I think it's been really cool to see everyone kind of show up in their own ways, and do their part, which I think is awesome.
I would probably just like 3D print like those little, like whatever you lose all the time. Like you could probably 3D print like that Lego my daughter needs or something.
Exactly.
But also, Megan.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, can I just say something? I think that's a great like segue. I mean, and going what Ryan was saying, you know, these masks can only be done on certain printers, and that's where, you know, Mike and his team come into play. But you know, for the person that has a 3D printer on their, you know, in their desk or, you know, in their basement or something, that's something where the community in this valley has been phenomenal and has been really instrumental, you know, just to piggyback and help St. Luke's in other ways, you know. So what they have been doing for us, because they wanted to help with the masks but couldn't because of not having that printer or maybe not having the right type of filament, they have been able to help us in other ways. You know, we've been looking at, you know, for not these masks, but maybe with these masks with the headband, or the cotton masks of the, you know, or the cloth masks maybe that the community has been doing, they can print the extension pieces to help, you know, get the elastic off the ears, you know, so they can do that on their printer, you know, with the common PLA filament. And that's where they can brush off that 3D printer, or instead of printing the Lego, you know, stuff off of, you know, for their kids or something, they're willing to help us. And that's just, you know, it's not just a 3D community, it's our community. And they've been phenomenal with that, which is just awesome to see.
Yeah, that was my other question. You know, working at St. Luke's, have you been surprised, and has it been like comforting to see the rallying of the community, you know, in this time? Like, is it like, I know some nurses, right? And I know, you know, they're, you know, people have their anxieties and concerns, but also they're talking a lot about how they're just blown away by how many of these companies and people like Mike and Ryan are stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, it's the outpouring of support, you know, without like getting, you know, kind of, you know, choked up, and you know, the more seriousness side of it is just, it's overwhelming. It's more than, you know, obviously anything I've ever seen, you know, and everybody wants to do their, you know, part. So, you know, having to stay in and stuff, and maybe that's a part of it. They want to be a part of it. And hopefully we never see anything like this in our lives again. I hope to God that that's the case. You know, to be a part of something positive, you know, it's amazing to see it. And, you know, when you want to see and see the positivity in it and shine a light in it, it is amazing. Surprised? No.
Yeah.
To be a part of it, yeah, it is kind of neat.
And what on that end, like, not everybody is as capable as Mike or Ryan to produce masks, or what can people do to help right now? Is it as simple as just some people it's just staying home, right? And
yeah, stay home, please, please. You know, we urge you to absolutely stay home. The more that they stay home and listen, you know, to the doctors and you know what the medical experts are telling us, the quicker, you know, that we will certainly overcome this. So absolutely 100% stay home. And if they're willing to help, they can certainly go to our website. our website there's a lot of expert information on our website just about COVID-19 in general. If they want to help in terms of donations or looking to lend a hand in that sense, whether it's with making masks, not the 3D masks, but other types of masks, we have information on there. Like I said, general donation stuff. And then we're working with our experts here and our team here in getting a page up for 3D stuff specifically. So some of the stuff that we're looking at, in addition to the 3D masks, like I said, the head extensions, we also need some stethoscopes. And so we've been 3D printing stethoscopes, which is, there's a shortage of stethoscopes. Yes, you can actually 3D print a stethoscope and it works. So another amazing thing where, 3D comes into play into the medical field. So we're going to get a site up that will put the STL files online, and if they have the right filament, they can print those files, submit them to us, and we'll assemble and test it and get it out to the people in need here at St. Luke's.
That's awesome. And I know everybody has a schedule here, so I just want to say, Mike, we're definitely going to have you back on because I want to talk more 3D printing stuff.
Absolutely.
That I don't think we can talk about here. How can people?
Probably illegal. What you're asking is most likely going to be illegal. So.
Absolutely not. But how can people help you? Is there any way?
So we haven't done like a donation page or a GoFundMe or stuff like that. We thought about that, but right now, I mean, if people want to help, it's, I guess, kind of what Megan says, just stay at home. I mean, I know that's not helping us directly, but it's helping the cause overall. We're very fortunate. We already have our letters out to our suppliers that we can keep operation. We can get raw materials in. We're not here asking for any financial donations. FI is doing this. I already talked to Megan from some St. Luke's about possibly, we're not charging St. Luke's. Like, we're not looking to profit off this. FI is taking on these costs. We're not looking to profit on this. So we're just doing the right thing. I mean, we're just doing the right thing. We're okay here. We're chugging along. We got all of our printers running. We're just getting it done.
Sure. And I think, I want to say thank you, of course, to all of you guys. This is crazy that, and it's crazy we're in this situation, but it's really heartwarming to see people step up and to really step up. Like, Ryan, I know you're a student. Honestly, your parents should be really, really proud of you. And 20 years from now, you're going to look back at this and, I think it's going to be something that you really are proud of. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you to you guys for doing the stuff on the front lines that needs to be done. And it's just amazing that you're doing it. So thank you.
That's awesome.
But yeah, Megan and everybody, thank you so much. Is it mystluke's.org? Is that correct?
They can go to, it's sluhn.org.
sluhn.org, and we'll be sure to put that in all of the stuff under the video. So thank you guys.
When we get through this, when this is all, we're past it, we could meet for a beer. Ryan, we'll get you like a cranberry juice, or I don't know if you're.
Sounds good. You got to wait until after October for that.
Yeah,
one.
okay. We can wait. Yes, everybody stay healthy, and thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you guys. Have a great day. Thank you, Megan.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Bye bye.